But yeah, we're going to be checking out Legend here. But I figured I'll go ahead and probably name off all the different people that did make a special appearance on this album. I figured it's only fitting. If you want a summary of everything, it's basically a bunch of people from Twisted Sister, Motorhead, and Black Sabbath. If you just want like a quick summary of everyone. I figured I'm going to go ahead and go through the full list of the names of everyone mentioned. So first up, we actually have Twisted Sister guitarist, that is Eddie Ojeda. And Eddie Ojeda, he did do the full lead guitar and solo for the song Spend, Spend, Spend. Neil Murray, he kind of bounced around all over the place. He was in different bands such as, just to name a few, Whitesnake, Brian May's band, and even Sabbath at one point or another. And he plays bass, and he played bass for 2 songs, actually. Whole New World and the song that we're actually going to be checking out here today, Legend. We now have the last guitarist for Motorhead, Phil Campbell. And Phil Campbell's all over the place here. He did mostly guitar solos, but he did play guitar for 1 song. So he did the guitar solo for Whole New World, Just Another Day. Those 2 are solos. And then he did play guitar for Zeitgeist. He isn't the original guitarist for Motorhead. That would actually go to Larry Wallace. But from the classic Motorhead lineup, you do have Fast Eddie Clarke. There is a song on the album Legacy. Girlschool actually does do a song called Metropolis. That's actually a cover song to Motorhead, actually. So Motorhead actually originally did that song. Other than Lemmy's vocals, I gotta say, I think Girlschool knocked it way out of the park, in my opinion. They definitely had more distortion and gave it more of a metal vibe than the original, because that was early days of Motorhead and they didn't have like the full sound that we're so used to hearing. I honestly think that their version actually might be better, but it's because of Lemmy's vocals. It's like no one could match what Lemmy could do. So it's one of those things to where I would have to like meet in the middle and say instrumentally, I think Girlschool did it better, but vocally, I gotta go with Lemmy on this one. But I did kind of thought it was a little awesome that they brought in Fast Eddie Clarke, who was still alive at the time. R.I.P. Fast Eddie Clarke. And Eddie Clarke, he did do the guitar solo for Metropolis on this album. So, just kind of fitting that Eddie Clarke, he was the guy that was there when they originally did this song. We still have more on the list, and don't worry, we're almost through the entire list here. We also have JJ French, another guitarist for Twisted Sister, and JJ French, he actually did do the guitar solo for the song Don't Mess Around. And of course, we also have the legend himself, the late great Lemmy Ian Fraser Kilmister. Lemmy, he did do bass, and he also did do vocals, and he also played the triangle to Don't Talk to Me. That's actually the last thing that you hear when you listen to the song Don't Talk to Me. That's the last note that's actually played, is you hear a little ding from a triangle. I didn't think too much of it because I thought, well, maybe you would think that would probably be for the drummer, possibly. And I thought maybe that wasn't like a literal triangle, and that maybe there was just like something on the drum kit, a symbol or something, to where, you could probably mimic the triangle. And then, of course, we also have the double feature of Tony Iommi and Ronnie James Dio for their version of I Spy. Of course, the rest of the band is filled in with the other members of Girlschool, but for lead guitar, you do have Tony Iommi, and for vocals, you do have Ronnie James Dio. So I believe if you do actually get the original album, they do separate it, because I think, if I recall correctly, I do believe I Spy is like one of the first songs played on the album. And of course, under the bonus tracks, you have I Spy with Tony Iommi and Ronnie James Dio. I call it the Sabbath cut, but if you get the original version, I do believe they call it, on the album, they call it the Girlschool mix, Dio and Iommi mix. I think Sabbath cut sounds better. We also know, to be fair, Ronnie James Dio also had a solo career as well, so if you really want to get technical, technically they would be right by calling it Dio and Iommi mix. So, and of course, I guess I should also maybe point out that Kelly Johnson is also on this list as well. Now, I should also maybe point out that they do call Kelly Johnson's appearance a ghost appearance. I don't know if they used her voice on any other song, but I do know for a fact there is clearly there is someone doing vocals for the song Other Side. So I naturally thought it's probably just Other Side. But to be fair, maybe there was other appearances throughout the album to where I just kind of missed it. And I just went with the one that sounded like, out of all these songs, what sounds like a ghost appearance. And for me, it was Other Side. And I still say, and stand by it, it was a beautiful, beautiful touch. Honestly, I do have a personal connection to the song Other Side. Top to bottom, lyrically, it's one of my favorite songs of all time, with or without that personal connection, and knowing that that is most likely Kelly Johnson's vocals that you hear for what would be the guitar solo spot. I mean, it just adds more character to that particular song. Honestly, I could sit here all day and just gush about the album Legacy by Girlschool. I think this album is underrated. I feel like Girlschool in general is underrated. I don't think they get nearly as much praise as they should. They are my favorite bands currently active. If I really had to pick, I would probably have to say Girlschool is my pick. Let's actually get into this. This is truly one of my favorite songs of all time. I'm actually going to go ahead and actually mention this one last and final tidbit. I didn't put this in the original video, mostly because I felt like I was probably adding too much of myself, but I do want to point out when it comes to the chorus of this song, once again, there are songs to where I hear it and I just think about stuff. I'm not gonna lie. When I hear this particular song that we're gonna take a look at, Legend by Girlschool, whenever I do hear the main chorus to this song, I kind of think about the women in my life. I can't help myself. Whenever I play this song and it gets to the main chorus of this song, I kind of think about my mom. I I I don't know why I think that, but I think it's primarily because she's a legend to me. And here we go. This is so so this is actually like just another song that I just kind of have like a soft spot towards because of that small little personal connection. I know it's a small little connection because clearly once we actually get into the song, this song really is like a biography here, because we're getting a small synopsis of Kelly Johnson's life in song form. You'll see what I mean once we actually play this song, so enjoy. Not a single issue in that opener. Like, guitars are just perfect. The drum fills. I just love everything. Like, I feel like this is one of those songs to where right when you hear it, it kind of demands attention.
And the Oscar goes to...
And Girlschool.
That is a damn good chorus. I absolutely love that chorus. It's just so good. I think that was just beautiful writing done by Girlschool there, and you could tell that they are trying to like set up a full story here. Usually a lot of bands, they really like to mix in a lot of rhymes and stuff, and it's like you could rhyme, but you could also just straight up just tell a story, and I feel like that's what we're getting here. We could argue what's good and bad, but in my opinion, I feel like this, I think I would take a story over like a good rhyme or something, because this is just solid all around. I love the vocals, love the lyrics. Instrumentally, it's just perfect. Oh God, it's just I feel like I This is just one of those songs where I can't add anything to this. Like, the song just speaks for itself. Like, just pay attention to the lyrics. Pay attention to, like, oh my god, the song is just so beautifully done all around. This is just one of those songs. It's just like, how is it that this song is like, it's just not well talked about? And it's just one of those things that it just boggles my mind that how can a song this freaking good just like, I had to discover this on my own. This song, this album. I actually have this freaking album. It's right freaking here, dude. Like, I have this. So, like, I freaking love this thing. So, like, yeah, I absolutely love this. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. Like, it's... Also, I had to try and find this little bastard somewhere. Once again, it's just like hidden in some boxes and I just kind of forgot. But yeah, it's truly one of my favorite albums of all time, and zero regrets. Just absolutely love everything. Beautiful solo. And right here, we're hearing time came to leave the band. So this would have been when she left to start up her time in, what is it, World's Cutest Killers, with the help of her agent, Vicky Blue. That would have been the United States, by the way. I bet that line right there was directly from the band themselves. Like, it's like, dude, she is, she's one of the founding members. And to my understanding, I didn't mention this in the previous video as well, so I could bring it up here. I'm probably not going to be able to find that particular documentary.
With Ace of Spades spiraling up the charts, Lemmy turned his mind to finding a support band for the upcoming tour.
That's the way I like it, baby. I don't want to live forever.
When he first met us in the rehearsal studio, he went back to his band and said, by the way, the blonde's mine.
The blonde was Kelly Johnson, and the band was Girlschool, a heavy metal outfit from South London.
It didn't work out, came back home. Back how it used to be. Would it have changed if she'd only known our greatest tragedy?
If you know the story, that line, our greatest tragedy. Oh. If you know the story, that's like a stab in the heart right there. Oh, that is so good. But yeah, anyway, that is going to do it for me today. I'm going to go ahead and call it here for this video. So this is actually the story in Legend, by Girlschool, and honestly, this is just something, a lot of this particular album and song is just kind of like, it has a place near and dear in my heart to me, and I really hope you guys really enjoy this particular song. Go hunt down this classic album. The song is Legend. The album is Legacy. I will have links to both part 1 and 2 of this particular story in the song Legend. So this is part 2, and I'll have links to part 1 and vice versa. So I want to make sure that both of these videos are gonna be down in the description. You check out both part 1 and 2. I do that for every story behind the song, but like I said, this is a biography, so in song form. So this is more of a story in the song. I do appreciate everybody who watched both part 1 and 2. Over on my Patreon, I will have both part 1 and 2 in one neat package for you if you want to go check out the Patreon version. Free for everybody, and you don't have to pay a dime to see my content over there. But if you do want to support the channel, links are in the description below, and I truly do appreciate all of those that do. And yeah, do let me know if you can think of any other stories that have songs tied to them one way or another. I would love to hear if you guys have any yourself down in the comments. Sound off. Don't care what genre, this and that. If there's a story and it's tied to a song one way or another, I want to hear it. Let me know down in the comments. And yeah, with that, I'm out of here. Born to lose, live to win. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.